Alright, welcome back everyone. Here we are through day 10. Sort of knew it was going to be a long one. I was hopeful it'd be less than 2 weeks, but I do not believe that's going to happen. Got our little room built. Hopefully tonight we're going to finish up our little shop deal and maybe get a little bit more after that. But the actual, I say that our base is really, still looking the same, but I'm still pleased with how that's turned out. I think it's going to really come together good when it's all said and done. Pop the battery out here. But if you're new here, this is what I do. I buy these kits and build them step by step, mostly in real time. You get to see all my successes, all my failures, and how I hopefully fix those inevitable failures. Upload daily and just try and move things along, have a good time. We're not changing the world, we're just building silly little models. Want to have some fun with it. If you've seen any kits or builds or sets that you'd like to see me take a shot at, feel free to drop it in the comments. I'm always looking for more sets to add onto my list, and I've got the most intelligent audience on YouTube. You'll always have good suggestions for me. So, without any further ado, let's crack on with this one. We're not using this yet. Get to move into our, like I say, I'm a little nervous about this one, but we're going to see how it goes. I'm going to start actually out of order. From what they tell me, according to the instructions, yeah, that goes with that one. These beads are supposed to fit around these little things that we separated out last night. And yeah, okay. I thought they'd be a little too thick for that, but they do go on there, sort of. I think. Need to put. I will put a drop of something on it once we're done with the assembly, but I'm going to get these. Let's see if I can get these guys mounted. I'll go from there. Stray. Alright. Yeah, they did. I say just barely, but they go on there. And these guys are supposed to put like that, and this sort of have these ropes going, strings, strands, whatever you want to call them. That was a backup piece there, so we're not going to use that. We're supposed to sort of make it look like a hanging sign. So let's do a couple of beads on each piece, hopefully. Probably need to be wider apart than that. Then move into it. This is, that's what I thought might be the issue. Get it stabilized. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be still further apart. Maybe over there, maybe. I think that's gonna suit me. And I'm gonna. I'll just get my scissors out and snip those extras pieces off the end so I can get that out of the way, let that glue sit up for a little bit. Okay, now this one, get my according to the instructions, we're supposed to take this string and wrap it around the edge, and like I say, conform to all our little fluctuations here. I'm trying to, I think I'm going to anchor it here with my glue gun. Just anchor it on the bottom and then try and work my way around. I've got my little pick here to hopefully mash it into place. But let's see, has my glue melted yet? Yeah, looks like it's. No, that was an outer piece. Let me. That was a drip from yesterday, so let's get rid of you. Okay. Now try just getting a grip on there. Get the end in it. Okay. Residue out of the way. So bringing pretty stout there. So just another drip. Where it goes around the corner here, I hope. Ease you into that. Okay. Now this is where the tricky part's going to be, getting it into our little nook there. But seems to be doing pretty good with this. So drop in there. That's where I'm going to bring in the mush it down into our. Yeah, okay. I think that worked. Now, a pretty tight corner there, so I'm going to try and get up in this section. Alright, okay, this is actually going much better than I thought it was going to. Hopefully these strings won't show up. They're small enough scale that they won't show up in the finished product. Back to a little. Yes. Yeah, this is not doing too bad at all. See, I wasn't expecting it to go this well. Okay. Now, around the corner into the up next nook. Maybe getting a little too confident now, but I'm sure I'll get humbled soon enough. Let's see, you run into that. Yeah, the string split on me there. I think it'll still be acceptable. Now, let's see here. Scissors. Just you. There we go. I was expecting that to be much worse than that. That's our little separation over here in our string. So if you do this when you go around the corner, maybe tighten up the weave a little bit, just sort of spin it to more tight. But that's it. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm fairly pleased with that. I don't think these like little strands are going to show once it gets installed in the book Nook. So that's good. And this thing is supposed to go on the back. So I've got my glue gun here, so I'll just use this. I think it's sort of make it look like it's some separation there or something. On there. All right. That. Nice. Cool. I'm pleased. Okay, so we got those, and we did. Sound working. We're not going to use that. So I think we are actually ready to do our wall frame. That's that. Two light fixtures I made last night. Got some chevrons to put on. Street number. Oh, there's. Oh, well, I actually got those things up to, but I forgot I'd put them there, so I'll set them aside to refile them later. Okay, now I'm gonna start with our little chevrons. So I'll just let's do 2 sets of 2s. Pop those apart. And B7000 for this bit. It just goes on either side pointing in, because our bookstore sign is going to go right here in the middle. So actually I think I'll use this to mount that. So a little dab of glue on that one. Get you down, hopefully quick enough. Yeah, so it sort of looks like it gets a little bit of depth on the sign. So I think it'll make a little shadow effect. The ultimate goal on that, my theory anyway. But now let's pop our chevrons on. Let's just do a little here and here. Squeeze it around and just get you sort of in place. Okay, then our headrest go about there. A little too much glue, I think. Okay, now our fixtures sort of go here and here. I think I'll go back to the glue gun for that. Haven't burned myself enough on the fingers yet, so let's get you fairly. Let's say the original instructions call for to put some wire in there, and I'm just not feeling that. I think this is more easier for me, and I think more sturdy too. Okay. Alright. String out of the way here. Maybe. Okay. Now, I think, yep, now I get into the real nitty gritty of tonight, so it's sort of going to be, this is going to be the fun part, I believe. So, so set you aside, and oops, forgot my, grab some of our little string here. We'll make 6 of these, it says, but we gotta make beaded curtains. So we get to, this is definitely a new one for me here. So we're supposed to be 10 centimeters a piece, it says on them, so still have no sense of centimeters. So. Let's just start with one and see how it goes. Okay, so it's supposed to be this one, this one, this one, and this one, and the outermost one is 5 blue guys. Okay. So was going. For a second it went. Through. Yeah, this shouldn't be this hard. Okay. There it goes. Nope. I saw it peek out. There it goes. Finally. Now, move you out of the way. My plan. I guess I'm going to stick with the hot glue. It's going fairly clear. See if I can get just a dot on there. Bring you down into the dot before it dries. Okay, that feels fairly secure. Gonna have a little. Let's see if I can get the worst of it off of there, maybe. I don't think I'm gonna allow that. And choked way down too far on there. Oh. Now the next one. Had it. Saw it peeking out again. Sure, there's a better technique than this. Alright. Okay. Now, these should be easier. The smaller beads seem to work better than the long ones. That's what I said. Okay. Now, surely these are going to be easy. They're nice round. Okay, maybe try the other way. Yep. Had it and lost it. Alright. Okay. It's trying to escape. Okay. Not that I blame it at this point. So I'll do. Once I do this one, I'll do the rest of it at high speed. I'm sure this is not. It'll be the same thing over and over again. So. I think getting the technique down now. Yeah. Hold the string, then grab it when it comes through the other end with the tweezers. Seems to be Yeah. I didn't have no friends as a kid. I never made friendship bracelets. Alright. There we go. So that, I said, that's the first one, and we're going to make 6 of these. So it's, the only difference is there's 5, 4, 5, 4, 3, 3, 4, 5 on the blue beads. But everything, all the others are just long, short, in the blues. Alright. So, set you aside, and like I said, I'll do the rest of those in quicker motion, so you won't have to sit here and listen to me fumble with them. Okay, so I don't know if my technique was getting better or I just got lucky with the draw, but those last couple were much more cooperative as far as getting threaded on there. If I get all these little strings out of the way, make sure I don't spill any of them. I can't get you back. And those go in this doorway. So make sure I get them on the back where our glass is mounted. So these go basically it's, okay, I see what they're doing. The 5s go out their edge, and then 4s, 3s, and 2s, and there's like sort of a gap in the middle, but it's still, let's see, how do I want to do this? I want to do, if I do the hot glue, I think that'd be too fast for me. The B7000 is going to take a few minutes to set, so I'm gonna, yeah, I am gonna go with the B7000. I think that'll give me a little more wiggle room as far as getting things. Oh, I think I've already used this for glue before. Okay. It's a little wobbly, but I think it'll be okay. Okay, so my plan. Don't give you much room for error here. A little tight. That crossbar is all we get. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go for it. I'm just gonna run beads straight across there. And there, 'cause it looks like that's about as far as it's gonna go. And the beads, the blue ones are supposed to be just below the actual door. So let me get these 3s and 4s out of the way here, so we can go on the outer edges and work our way in. So it's something like that. Now I'm just going to trim that string after the fact. There. Okay, make sure you. And the 4s go. And not into that glue. And I guess in theory these are all going to be different lengths, but those blue beads are so thick and thin that they're not cooperating. I still get a little bit of a angle up there at the bottom. So. And I'm just going to run. Trying to decide. Yeah, it flips there. I'm going to go ahead and hit another bead of glue over top of it, I think. We're going to have room behind it for this to be a little bit of a protruding. So just make sure those strings get sealed in there nice and tight. And I'm going to call, I'll say that's going to take, that's one, it's going to be tomorrow before that's ready to be mounted, I think, because that's got a lot of glue and a lot of, but it's a, sort of a preview. It's going to be this deal. It's all said and done. Of course, without the strings and everything everywhere. Okay, get you out of the way. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and look what these strings are hanging off the edge here. They were giving me little issues. So. I may have to do something else with that. Those glue on the bottom because they appear to like each other. But, that's where I'm going to set it aside and let that glue dry. And let's see, what do we got next? I got a couple of things that sort of confused me, so we'll move into that tonight. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and do that before we. I was thinking about taking a little break, giving that a few minutes to dry ahead of time, but supposed to be making a pillow. My pillows generally look pretty bad, so I'm not overly confident with them. And a chair. And that's our table here and here. And these they're supposed to end up being like candles eventually. And that goes on. Okay, they evidently gave me 2 sheets of the orange. I didn't know I was cutting through both of them. Okay, and our little martini glass. They're saying do something. I'm gonna repurpose some. Where did I put that in there? I'm gonna repurpose some beads I had left over. Okay, so you there. This way, I think I intend for it to work. Let's get a couple of 3 of those in there. Once again, we're dealing with the manufacturing vagaries. Sometimes they'll fit, sometimes they won't. But they've got us like trimming up some material or cloth and jamming it in there. I think this will look a little better when it's all said and done. Hopefully. But we'll put those guys in last. It looks like 3 of them is going to be about the most. So take those 3 little ones, set them aside. Put y'all back out of the way. Okay, so you're going to be on there in a minute. Let's see what we got. I guess I'll go ahead and make the table. Give me another piece of acrylic here. There we go. I'm just gonna actually, this is our table leg. I'm just gonna glue it straight down. And put the tabletop on top of it here. So that's that. Almost looks more like a stool than a table, but still will do the trick. Now, so you're supposed to trim this guy down to 0.4 centimeters. I'm going to say that. Let's get you in place. I can't believe how long it took me to remember that hot glue is so effective for this stuff. That worked out good. That actually looks like, it'll focus on it. I don't know if it will at that depth, but it sort of almost looks like the bottom of that little martini glass. So that worked out nicely for us. Let's get our stool out of the way. I'm just going to drop the old B7000 into our glass. And plop these guys in, I hope. They just look like cherries on it or something. I don't know. Is it? I'll take it. Like I say, we're supposed to trim up that and jam it in there. Is what the plan's for. So I think that'll work all right. Now, okay, let's look at our candles supposedly here. They're saying, let's take this stuff and roll it up. Those things. I guess I will have to use some tweezers a little bit, but don't go for even in a second. Okay, so getting that sort of situation, then I'm supposed to stick it so steady. Hot glue again. Just use it. Okay. That's supposed to represent a candle. Oh. We'll take. Now this is something that's confusing me. They're saying to strip the wire off of strip the insulation off the wire and just use the silver as the wick, but to me that looks more like a candle than the silver wick. This is not gonna, if I can even this out. I don't know if it'll let me or not. Yeah, there we go. Now, looks like wire right down the middle there. And that, to me, is more candle-ish. Yeah, so I'm feeling that. Okay, so, and that goes right next to our martini glass here. So, a little blob there. Trying to find the seam. Facing back. It's a little bit taller than they meant for it to be, but that's, yeah. I think that'll, and like I said, they've got a label we're supposed to stick on this thing. It's supposed to be I think our bottle, but I'm not gonna, nah. I'm not even gonna attempt to be that dexterous with that tiny of a thing, but I will put our cap on our bottle here. Nope, no, I'm not. I think I missed. I got about half of it. I think that'll do. Now, and the bottle goes here. According to our plans. Okay. Well, we got a little table going, which okay. Actually, I'm not hating how that turned out. I made the candle a little bit too tall, but I think that'll still. Let's see if we go to like about that angle when it's all said and done, or maybe. No, maybe this angle will be the way to have it facing forward so we can see everything. We'll decide on that later, but that's, yeah, that suits me. Okay, and we're supposed to they've got us making another candle for some other point, but I'll wait until we actually use it. We're going to evidently wrap that candle in orange paper, orange we call it, not cellulose, cell something, to make it orange. But we'll get to that. Okay, I think go with the chair next. Let's see, it goes that way. And I think I'm going to super glue this one, so bring out the old Gorilla super glue. Do it onto the seat, and the front legs onto the seat, then I'll do the back onto the front the seat after that. So a nice, even, smooth coat, hopefully. And about like so. Give me just a little overhang off the front, and that should go, I think, to this crossbar. But yeah, that's going to be where we end up. So I have a hunch it's going to be unlevel. These usually are when I try and make them like this. But let's see. And ooh, I just looked at the time. I don't know how much. Alright, well, that's, once again, not hating it. You can see it is uneven on the seat, but it's gonna, once we glue it down, it'll stay where we want it to. Due next to our table there. Okay, let's see. I always have trouble with the. Always, the 3 times I've done it, I always have trouble making the pillows. So let's get. Okay, so I'm just gonna run. Yeah, of course, the fabric fraying doesn't help none. Let's see. I'm going to just, I don't know if I can run it that quick or not, but I'm going to hot glue, obviously. I'm going to go just one edge at a time, maybe. So I'll just go on this one. Just remembered I only had to do half of it, and over. Okay, so I should have should have a nice opening here, so the opening significantly smaller than it looks like it ought to be, but I think I'm going to be able to trim those edges down some. Now, get this to compress. And that's going to be sufficient for the pillow, because this is supposed to go onto our chair. There. Okay. Now, can we cut the edges off and make this more appropriate size? I got enough. I think I've got enough glue in there to do that. So let's go to here, maybe. I need to get my bigger scissors. this up. Greedy. Okay. It's staying together. Alright. Still think I might have made it too big, but it's still about far and away the best looking pillow I've made so far. I think out of the 3 or 4 that I've actually done. But this one's supposed to go. Here I'll say it's still way too big for the chair, so I may have it sitting underneath the table or something when it's all said and done. Either they made the chair too small. I think surely that's got to be what it is. But I think that is ample for tonight. We got our, let's say our chair is gonna here, and let's say we may have it just sort of sitting next to this. You know, once we put it all together, have it all there in case somebody wants to sit on a chair. Maybe have maybe if I got any. I'm trying to remember if I got any leftover animal. If I got like a cat, something, I'll if I can find a cat figurine, I'll have the cat sitting underneath the table on its pillow. Yeah, that's my plan. That's if I can find one. I think I've got one. But that, you know, I think this was fairly time consuming tonight. It's been another one of those nights where progress was made, but it was slow. And I say I'm not gonna mess with this yet because I think that glue's not ready to roll yet. I'll just pull out the this other side should be good to go by now. It's been a while. Yeah, right. Pick it up. That one does. I'm not sure where we're going to end up mounting it, but that's going to look okay. Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty pleased with tonight. I say this one's a lot. Small steps, small steps, small steps. What's coming on next? Still making tiny pieces tomorrow. I do get to make some more bead curtains, but I don't think we'll get to that tomorrow. Alright, but yeah, I think we've still got a few days left on this one at least. So stick with me. We're getting there. But in the meantime, hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Like, subscribe, comment, complain, share. Do whatever you want to with all of that. Be good to one another. Stay safe, and click on a link. There's a subscribe to this channel button. There's my sort of new experimentals channel over there. This is what YouTube thinks you should be watching, and this is the playlist for this build. So, see you tomorrow.